Yo, JD here, and we are back with some league racing here today, and we're at ILR Canada. I missed Baku, and I believe I missed another round as well. And Monaco actually missed as well, so Baku and Monaco have missed. But before this, I was actually still somehow third in this championship coming into this round. So from here on out, apart from, this race, which I'll be able to explain in a second, I'll be able to give it my absolute full-time commitment and full sweat now. Unfortunately for this race, I've been doing so much esports practice because on Friday and Saturday, we got the final event in London, and I've been focused my entire time in that. So when I practiced for this, I only did one session and with a different wheel and stuff as well, which I had to move over onto my play seat, unscrew everything and do that. Managed to get one session in, but I was really happy with the pace, to be honest. I was very surprised getting used to the brake and the wheel again. I felt the pace was actually quite good, and on this lap it was completely 100% clean because this track, it's notorious for corner cutting and you can cut so much, like that chicane there, but we managed to do it very cleanly there. And the very last chicane, you can gain so much time. So I was very, very happy with this lap, in fact. And just the pace I had throughout this whole experience, I think is really good. But I'm really looking forward to the rest of the races now because I'll be able to get my full time and effort now. And if I could have gave this a lot more time, then there would have been even more pace. So I'm very, very excited for the remaining races of this really established league and really well-run league. And I just want to thank the guys enough for just organising this. But we come across the line and we did a 1 minute 7.7, which ended up being half a second away from pole, but I felt with more commitment in the lap, I can see where that time was, and hopefully everyone's lap was clean because that lap was clean that I did. But that felt very, very nice. We're like fourth on the grid, which I was very, very surprised with. They start the formation lap now. There was rain scheduled for this race as well. So we're going to be starting on the Hypersoft tyre, which everyone was actually doing. You could still do a one stop on this tyre, which I was very surprised of actually. So getting prepared for this race now. Just trying to get our mind right for this. As I said, just hardly had any race practice for this, so we just got to try and stay with these guys as much as possible. If we can do that when we're in for a good race. So 5 eights and away we go now, trying to get a good start, but luckily the run down to turn 1 is a very short run, and we managed to maintain position behind OMG is Joe, and obviously with the usual suspects, Veloce Surprise and VSR Simon. It seems to be us four, always seems to be in the top 4 at the moment, so hopefully for the rest of the season, I really want to be getting race wins and just still challenging for that title because nothing's over until it's over, and that's my aim, and I believe I can definitely do that. I just need to put in a lot more time, just to really just time, and that's it. I think if I had the more time and effort, which I'll be able to do now, then we'll be much more on form for the races, and especially qualifying, and we can definitely fight for more wins, which is what I want to see, and hopefully people who support me, they want to see that as well. So, but at the moment, we're able to stay with the leaders pretty well. This setup I got here is my Canada setup pretty much. I think the only difference is I think I'm running on this one here. I ran 1.9, which I don't know if that's different. Obviously setups are going to slightly change over a while, but 1.9 with 8 ballast I ran around here. Didn't go with the 9 ballast because, as I said, just not much limited time or not much track time, so I just didn't really want to run that, but it felt very, very nice as well. And considering it was going to rain during the race, I thought 8 bars would be a little bit better. So we've got the straight line speed, stability, good traction. You can see they got away from us here, but we just need to get a little bit more to room as we're coming towards the end of the stint now. It's actually starting to rain a bit slightly, I think. The leaders have got away just a little bit from Joe, but we managed to actually close in on Joe now. You can see it's definitely spitting rain now, and we've got the pace on OMG, it's Joe here. So I think if we could get third place in this race, I think that would be a really, again, I say damage rotation because third place is still very good, considering the time he had. But I think third would be a pretty good result, and we're still not too far behind the leaders as well. So if we could just get past him and those two actually start to battle a little bit more, then who knows what can actually happen here. So coming off his top hairpin here, trying to get a good run. No, or actually we do still a DRS because it's still enabled at the moment, but it'll probably be turned off soon once the rain really starts to come down. Was thinking about an overtake here, but we've got so much of the race left. He's going to go into the pit, so he's actually gambled to go on the wet tyres if we almost lose the car. So I started to think that might have been a good decision that he actually did to go into the pits there, because I haven't actually driven the wet on this game in a league race, or on the or on the dry tyres at least. I have not done this, so this is new territory for me. So I was trying to be careful, but also at the same time, I wanted to push to try and make up as much time as I could on the 2 leaders ahead of me, bring a little bit of a gap behind me, and hopefully don't come out too far behind Joe. As we can see there, the engineer saying 5.6 seconds behind the 2 leaders ahead of us. So trying it very carefully on the throttle there to try and do nicely. Got a decent gap behind us, and coming into this under the bridge now, locking up ever so slightly. So we've actually gone a little bit deep here, and we've just completely just lost the car. And we've got a broken wing as my engineer just doesn't shut up and stop talking. Getting quite annoying actually at the moment, but that was just a careless mistake really, just not being experienced in these conditions, and probably should have taken that a little bit too easily. Going in deep into that corner just made the angle on the exit just a little bit tighter than it should be, and we've lost our wing now, so we're going to have to pit. We were going into pit, luckily we're going to pit anyway, but now we're going to have an extra 7-second pit stop for the pit. So coming into here nice and carefully now. We've lost a couple of positions, but we're going to lose probably a lot more positions as well. And that's the only thing I can say, that was just my fault there. That's what I mean. If you just have more running time, then you're maybe a bit more sharp in those situations and a little bit more switched on. Just thinking a little bit more clearly. We should have just taken that a little bit more easy. Because I was just constantly thinking of trying to just not lose as much time to Joe as possible. Because it's very hard to catch up around this track as well, because it's such a short lap. But we're on the intermediates now, and this should be able to get to the end. It should be very difficult, and we'll come out just behind Langman now. So back down in 10th place, 9th place now, because I think someone else has disconnected. So 9th place now, and we just got to try and make up as many positions as possible. In the wet here, I was actually feeling surprisingly pretty alright in these conditions. I've done wet time trial quite a lot, so this wasn't really anything too new to me, but obviously with the tyre wear added on, not quite sure how the car's going to react, but the setup felt very, very nice, and it's just staying in intermediate conditions. The rain isn't getting any worse at this point, but we just can't get close enough to Langman. It's very hard to overtake because you just get dirty air. Once you're behind the slow speed corners, you just can't get close enough at all. As he makes a little bit of a mistake, so this is our opportunity to try and get him into turn 1 now. He goes a little bit defensive, we're going to go around the outside of it, but he actually goes in deep as well. Pushes me off slightly a little bit, trying to get on the inside of him again, but he's just going to have a little bit better traction than us coming through here now. I think we've got a lap fresher tyres than him. He pitted definitely before us, I believe. And yeah, you can see if you're here, just a little bit understeer behind this car. I can hardly see anything as well. But it's just incredibly hard to overtake unless the driver ahead makes a little bit of a mistake. Because he goes in a little bit deep again. We try and get a nice exit off here. But again, we just can't get on the throttle just early enough. And he just manages to just hold the gap in the meantime. And my engineer just doesn't shut up this race. I think I'm going to turn him off for next time because he's doing my absolute head in at the moment. We can see the tyre wear wasn't too bad. You could probably make it to the end of the race. But I decided to go for a different strategy. I decided to pit again now. So I'm going to go into the pits now. As Langman has actually done the same thing. But a couple of the cars ahead of us have actually continued. I think that's Reynolds ahead of us as well. Reynolds and Verstappen. And if I could change it now, I'll probably maybe not pit and might have just continued. I should have probably done something different to Langman. But we decided to pit. And he actually comes out ahead of us. But there's a little glitch in this game. If you're just behind someone going to the pits and they overtake you once they've pitted, he actually holds you for another second. So we actually lost another 2 seconds here, or another second and a half or 2 seconds. So we've just lost so much time from that, and now we've got to do it all over again to try and catch him up, and we've got to try and catch LCR Hayden as well, which we're about to do. But you can see we're going in deep now, locking up, and that gives us a 3-second penalty. And Jeff, just please, just stop. He's driving, and he just doesn't stop talking. Please, just stop talking. But LCR Hayden now managed to catch up. We can see Langman is quite a big gap ahead of him as well. So we lost so much time in the pits there for that little glitch, which I hopefully Codemasters will resolve through here, but we've got much fresher tyres than Hayden, who I believe hasn't pitted at all. I don't think he's pitted at all yet for the intermediates. So we're in 9th place. This is for 8th place. Every point will count. I really want to just do well this season. As I said, I want to win races and just do the best I can. So every single point counts. So we'll go try and get past him as soon as possible. Trying to get a nice slingshot of this corner, slow it and fast out, which I usually say for that. And for this hairpin, it's very, very hard. They've got no DRS here, so it's really important to get a nice exit. I like to go in quite deep. And again, Jeff, just please shut up. I'm trying to get a good exit coming off here now. 4th gear, 5th gear, rich mix. Overtake mode, and he's going to the inside, but I don't believe he's fighting this too much now. I believe he just lets us go there. He decides not to really fight this at all, so thankfully he lets us go. And now we've got a biggish gap ahead of us now. We've got Langman ahead of us, and let's see what the gap is to him. That's 2.7 seconds. And I don't know why Jeff, he just doesn't stop talking here. I think I should have done shut up Jeff on the control panel. I think I should have done that this race, but I was too focused on the driving. But I think I'm definitely going to turn him off now. But you can see towards the end of the stint how much we've actually caught Langman. We've caught him up over 2 seconds this stint. So the pace and the wet was very, very nice. I think we're probably 3rd quickest on track other than the 2 leaders at this point. So catching up the people ahead of us very nicely, but it's actually starting to dry out now. So we'll go on the ultra soft tyre, and that should easily make it to the end of the race now. So again, please stop. So we're going on the ultra soft tyre, and we've actually managed to jump Langman in the pits. We were further behind than we were last time, and we've actually jumped him in the pits. So I don't know how that's happening. He's probably a little bit angry at that, but so we're just going to take the position anyway, and that puts us into 7th place in this race. And you can see, I want you to take note of the gap he had ahead of us. That is Jaws 94. I think the gap is about 10.9 seconds, and obviously you've got Langman right behind us. I think he's on the hyper soft tyre. Normally the harder compounds are actually better in slightly damp conditions, which is the reason why I actually went for that. So 10.9 seconds. But now we're moving on to the end of the race. You can see the gap is now 7.1 seconds ahead of us. We caught him by 3.8 seconds in about 3 to 4 laps. You can see our pace was really, really on point. I think we were the quickest on track at this point at the moment. We were the quickest car. We've pulled away from Langman behind us. You can see the gap is coming down. I really wanted to get under 6 seconds, as Simon does the fast lap, which I then believe Surprise does as well. I really wanted to get under 6 seconds because in case he had a 9 seconds worth of penalties, because we have 1 second, which we obviously do have. If we could get within 6 seconds, we might be able to make up another position. So I was really desperate to try and do that as much as possible, trying to expend all the ERS and the fuel I have left at this point as well, and also try and get ahead of Langman by 3 seconds. That was also the target at this point as well. But this race, pretty frustrating one, but I actually was really surprised at the pace, and I actually enjoyed driving this track as much as I haven't been a fan of it in the past. I actually really enjoyed it here, so I'm really looking forward to the next race, which is at France. We have a week break for that. Coming across the line, do a 10.1. Unfortunately didn't make up any more positions, but we managed to come home in 7th place after that. You can see how many seconds of penalties. Surprise, having 12 seconds worth of penalties there. We actually did an extra pit stop. We did 3 pit stops there, where we went on to the second set of intermediates, which I think if we should just continue, to be honest, I think we should have just continued rather than do that. And we might have maybe come in 4th or 5th instead, which would have been a very good recovery. But I'm very happy with the pace I have on this game. The pace is definitely there. I just need to pull it all together. And if we do that, I think we can be in the fight for wins. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Peace.